What's going on, everybody? This is Josh. I'm back again. It's my Captain America shirt. Yeah. um, yeah. So I said like last week after I saw the movie or whatnot, I gave my initial thoughts, and I told myself I really wasn't finna do this until I had proper filming equipment. I want to be presentable, but my iPhone is gonna have to work for now because I saw some stuff today. It was some random review that was on YouTube and or rant or whatnot about why Civil War sucks or whatnot, and it made me mad to the point where I was just like, all right, I'm about to say forget it and just record this. So basically, I saw the movie last Thursday at the advanced screenings here in Atlanta and stuff, and it was great. It was great. Um, Let me get my initial. No. I'm gonna address him. I'm gonna address the dude first. I'm not even gonna give his name. I'm not gonna give him no shine because it was stupid. His reason behind the video and his negative behind the video was Civil War was bad. Well, no, he didn't say Civil War is bad. He said that there's a huge issue with Civil War, and the issue that he took with it was that it seems reviewers or just film critics and notable people or whatnot, they're not mentioning the fact that Batman v Superman and Civil War have a similar plot, and he was inferring that Civil War copied Batman v Superman, which is stupid to me first and foremost. But I mean, hey, if you want to believe that, go right ahead. So he was saying that Disney and Marvel was paying these reviewers to not say anything about it. So let me just address this real quick, and then I'll get into my little review, spoiler free, of course. I want y'all to to enjoy it, just like relatively spoiler free. So the difference between Batman v Superman, and I want to bring it up after this because these movies deserve to be in their own pockets. It was enjoyable enough, first time seeing them, whatever, is what it is. But the difference between Batman v Superman is that movie started out excellent. It started out great, man. You were like, okay, I see where Zack is going with it, especially watching Batman, his viewpoint, and just seeing how it was going to progress and how people were asking for accountability for superhumans and just the stuff that they were doing. That started out excellent. And then, spoiler alert, I'm gonna put my hand up like this, or I'm gonna put my finger up like this for a spoiler alert, okay? So if you see my finger still like this is still spoiler territory. If you want to fast forward, go ahead. So, I feel so stupid right now. Anyways, um, my neighbor probably looking at me. Um, Batman v Superman, where it derailed from that point was when Superman went into the Senate or wherever it was. I can't even think. He went in there to answer for the destruction that he caused and saving the cities and stuff like that, and just like in general. And they wanted him to answer to that, and it fell flat because Superman, eventually, when he gets there, the Senate gets blown up. The Senate gets blown up, and then that's where the accountability in the movie drops. Like they don't care about it anymore. That's where that whole little plot point stopped, and then it was just like superhuman battles after that. That's all that happened. So it didn't really fully deliver on that point, in my opinion. And in somebody else's opinion, then it may have. It's cool. All right, my fingers down. So spoilers are done. If you haven't seen Batman v Superman yet, which you should still go see. I'm a supporter of all comic book movies. If they do good comic book movies for us, we all win. But the reason why it works in Civil War is that you care about these characters first and foremost. I was in 2000, what was it, 2008 when it first came out in May. I was a senior still in high school, so you can kind of guess how old I am. But you care about these characters because you're emotionally invested with them. You built with them, and they took these writers from each of these different movies have taken the time to set the stakes, especially between Iron Man and Captain America. Like where they stand on these stances, and it feels natural. It feels real that these characters would take these stances that they do in Civil War, especially even Iron Man. Even Iron Man, he's shown to mature. I don't think the same way I did 8 years ago. What was that like? Yeah, 8 years ago. I don't think the same way that I did 8 years ago, and neither does Tony Stark. You know, and it's like it's refreshing. So not only is it just them answering to the accountability of just like the destruction that happened in previous films, which we all saw, it was still a lot of stuff that happened. Like they just dropped the fucking city out of the air. Um, but it's still like a personal yet ideological battle. Like you feel like these are characteristics that are intrinsic to the characters. Like they build the characters, and you would feel that Tony would, yeah, take this position because he did help create Ultron, or Cap would take this position because he doesn't want government oversight. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not no spoiler. I mean that's just how it is. That's the routes that they take, and it feels good. So Civil War delivered on that front. It delivered on that front. It's my favorite. Like I said, it's my favorite Marvel movie. If I haven't said that, I'm gonna say it again. It's my favorite Marvel movie now. It's like, it's boom. It moved up to that point. Let me go ahead and address the negatives because I think it's easier to address the negative because it's only one big negative for the movie for me, and that is once again the villain. The villain seems paper thin. Like it's just, I don't know what it is about it. I don't really care as much, but it does keep the movie from being perfect because they do set the villain up to be, he's villainous. He's tension. He builds the tension in the movie outside of the natural ideological battle between them, which you came to see in Civil War. But he does seem like he has potential to be a good villain. But you start seeing his diabolical plot just kind of advance, and you like, oh, it's gonna go that way. He's gonna do this. This is dope. This is actually a threat. This could be a threat to the world. Not the world. No, it could be a threat. They could take down like places in the world, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes a whole different direction. And you're like, what? What? But other than that, without me going into spoilers, I'm sorry. Without me going into spoilers, he was the worst part. But it's not like he was just awful. It's just like it could have been so much more. So that's all I have to say on that. Now about Civil War. Civil War is a great movie. Captain America is back. He's back in action. For the people who nitpicking and say that he seems stronger, Cap is already a peak human. He's a peak human plus. So for him to be able to kick a truck and hit a person and he flies like 5 feet, it's believable. It's believable. He's Captain America, man. Like, let me give you an example because this is not a spoiler. He holds a helicopter in this movie, and you believe that he can hold a helicopter because he's Captain America. Flat out. You believe it. But the movie is good. The action is great, like they said. The only problems that I really have with the action is that there are a lot of jump cuts. There are a lot of jump cuts, and it feels reminiscent of, jump cuts and shaky cam. It feels reminiscent of like the Bourne Supremacy, like when they're fighting in the bathroom, or is that the Bourne Ultimatum? Well, the Bourne series in general, it has the hand cam. And if you're sitting up close to the screen, which I was in this theater, unfortunately, there's a possibility that you can get disoriented watching the first few fights, but then they get framed where all the action is in the frame and it's done beautifully. So it's only like 1 or 2 fights that I can only complain about that. But to get back to my review, I felt that it was a great movie. Like I said, the writers, the directors, Joe and Anthony Russo, Christopher Marcus, Stephen McFeely, they know these characters. You can get a sense that they truly understand and know and love these characters, which bodes well for Infinity War Part 1 and 2, and hopefully they stay on as executive producers for every film from now on because they know how to put these characters on screen and you to believe in them, believe in their power levels. They are powered correctly. If I wanted to give you a breakdown real quick, this is no spoilers of how these characters are powered as far as strength and physical feats and just like their actual other powers. Scarlet Witch is number one. let me do the top five. Scarlet Witch is number one. She's definitely strong. She has unlimited potential, just like Vision, who is number two. Surprisingly, you'll well, no, if you're a comic fan, you'll know this. Spider-Man would be number three, in my opinion. Spider-Man is number three. He is physically stronger than all those other people, except for maybe Vision, because Vision is he's borderline magical and just strong. He's made of vibranium, and he can phase through whatever he wants to, for the most part. Um, and then rounding out the top five would be Black Panther. We're gonna get on that, and the Winter Soldier. I would say the Winter Soldier, even though the Winter Soldier is a failed experiment of the super serum that was put in Captain America. He has an advantage with his arm. Just flat out. If Cap doesn't have his shield and Bucky has his arm, I'm betting my money on Bucky. And then Captain America be right there underneath it. I mean, it's just it just depends on how you want to see it. It's like you could flip a coin on any day and they will be there. But to get to this, because I want to keep it under 15 if I can. I don't know if YouTube will let me do over 15, but the introduction of Black Panther will have you excited for a Black Panther film, unless we're not gonna go that route. But whether you're a fan or not, you'll be wanting a Black Panther film. I guarantee it. He had the most cheers in my theater from everybody, from the one-liners that he had. He wasn't intentionally funny like that either. It was just like one-liners that he said that were so regal that made the people just like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They were like, yeah, yeah. And then when you see him on screen, in his costume, that is by far one of my favorites. And the best looking to me. And I'm a fan, so I'm a little bit biased. I'm a fan of Black Panther. I love T'Challa, you know what I'm saying? It's not just because I'm black. I just like, it is partially because I'm black, but I just like him as a character. But when you see him on screen, he is visually striking in this movie. Like, he's fast, he's quick, like, he's fucking bulletproof. He has a vibranium weave suit. Like, he's like the hero that you've been waiting to see on screen. Like, he's like what Thor should have almost been, as far as like the royalty. Even though Thor's character is that he is a hothead, he is immature before he becomes a king and learns how to rule. I can't even think of his place right now. I'm so sorry. Asgard, in the other realms. But yeah, Black Panther is regal in here. He is dangerous. And it's on 13 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this real quick. Spider-Man. Once you see Tom Holland as Peter Parker and Spider-Man, you'll understand why everybody is raving about him. He's only in there about 20 minutes, about 8 minutes Peter Parker time, 12 to 13, yeah, about 12 to 13, 21 minutes maybe, minutes of Spider-Man in action. And once you see him, you'll understand why they were like, yo, this is why we need to fast track his Spider-Man movie. And why people are excited. He's perfect. He perfectly encapsulates both Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and he makes jokes, he makes references, and he's a skinny looking kid, which makes it even more jarring when he's fighting these other superhuman beings or whatever, or these enhanced beings, and he's like as strong, if not stronger than them. So it's jarring to see on screen visually. And it's jarring to them because they don't understand, looking at this little kid, why and how he's so strong. So, he was a great introduction. I really appreciated him. Black Panther was my favorite part of the movie. He got the most cheers. Spider-Man by far got the second most. And then lastly, I'm going to leave this to y'all. Ant-Man was a scene stealer. He got the third most cheers in there. He injected a lot of humor, but not to the point where it was just like, oh, cheesy Marvel movie humor. The movie is very tense and fast-paced, so his humor was appropriate, especially when you're just like building this like emotional roller coaster ride or whatever. It just like punches in and be like, finally I can laugh and just relieve myself. But it's not a bad thing. So all in all, got like 20 seconds left till 15, so hopefully they let me do this because I've been talking for a long time now. Captain America Civil War is a great film. Hopefully you go see it multiple times in a weekend because I feel like it deserves multiple times. And yeah, I'll see you next time.